Hi, so this video is about tools the athlete can develop. Now, there are many tools, and this video is really just a very basic set of tools or ideas that may be helpful. Again, you can always and should ask for the help of experts, coaches, different coaches across different disciplines, and I'd encourage that. But this video is designed just to give you an insight into certain tools you might like to develop yourself, or maybe just give you ideas. I always use this formula: values develop character, and character builds behaviours, and behaviours build skills, and them skills lead to performance. So when we talk about an athlete or a player in general, we talk about 5 pillars. And within each pillar there are different skills. So here might be for an invasion sport athlete, the physical skills. There might be the technical skills. Again, each different sport has different skills. There might be tactical skills, like the game model. There definitely will always be mental skills, and there will be lifestyle skills. So that's just an important kind of, I suppose, reference point for the tools you're going to develop thereafter. And we will be referencing maybe the 5 pillars of the player as we go through. I'd like to also reference you to the guide in the resource section of the Journey into Journaling appendix. That's in the resource section where you found this video, and there's a PDF guide there that will be helpful with all the tools that follow. This is a very basic, what we might call a pillar growth map. So the 5 pillars we referenced in the last slide: lifestyle, mental, physical, technical, or craft, and team play. I suppose what we're going to start by doing is establish the current state. So where am I today? Vision for where you might want to be, and then how can you bridge that gap, and then the key actions that might come from it are the work-ons. So that's a very basic tool you could build out yourself. You could ask for input from your coaches, or you could reflect on yourself. You could also ask for input from your teammates. Now in the next slide that comes, we're going to just look at a kind of more sport-specific personal improvement plan. So here, this is an example of a midfield soccer player, and I suppose what you would do, this is again sport-specific. So we're not going to go through all the pillars. We're just going to look at, say, the technical and tactical, and probably the physical. But what we've done is we've listed 6 or 7 of the key skills in that area: passing the ball, dribbling, different things, tackling, scanning, of the key technical and tactical skills of the central midfielder. Now here we're using a 1 to 4 scale. So 1 would be very bad, 2 might be bad, 3 might be good, and 4 might be excellent or very good. Again, you can use any scale you want. A 4 is simple. A 10 can be used. Any scales can be used. And for the athlete here, they need to establish their current state. Now, to do that, they could reflect on their own insights. They could also ask a teammate, ask a coach. They could give it to 2 or 3 people they trust and ask them to come back. And for each, let's say, element like passing the ball, 1 could be defined, 1 out of 4 could be defined as something, passing with poor accuracy the majority of the time, and 2 could be further refined, and 3 out of 4 could be, passing with great accuracy 90% of the time, and 4 being excellent could be, passing to the perfect spot, whatever. You can just define it your own way, because that can add clarity. Now, when you've established that, you can create some sort of a kind of an image or a graph that can sometimes be a visual, can help. So you can compare where you'd like to be with where your current state is. And then really, when you have that, we start looking at, current state, practice, and then desire, where we want to be. So what I would be saying, the work begins here really, and you're going to pick 2 or 3 key qualities or skills and focus on for the next 3 or 4 weeks. So in the previous case, we looked at control, tackling, and scanning were the greatest work-ons for the athlete, but they're 3 huge areas. Yeah, so we need to refine. We need further detail and information, and we need to, to maximize the value of the work. So once we refine that down into the areas you're going to work on, and again, help might be needed here, things like SMART goals, goal setting and metric tracking can be very useful here. Now you'll also see another video about SMART goals and metric tracking. So you would have training goals, and they can be really helpful. Now, as you develop and you want to track how you're progressing, and you want to maybe analyze your performances so that you can feed forward and improve faster, you can use a simple kind of analysis tool. Again, this is the same athlete all the time, and we've the same skills, and they're going to track them, and we're going to use the same scoring metrics, so 1 to 4, and we're going to do this over 4 sessions or 4 games, and we're going to use a must start, stop, continue concept. So if we look at this is the output from them 4 games and the averages, and then we have the insights gained. And again, once we gain the insights and the goal setting starts again, the process starts all over again. And it's just that never-ending concept of kind of getting better, being very clear on what we're working on, and being very clear on the work that's been done, and measuring and tracking that work. So to summarize, what we've shown in the last three slides has been establishing a current state, how to establish that, then looking at putting in place a plan, a goal setting plan, and metric tracking and habit tracking, and then kind of analysing how it's going and then refining that plan. So that's a very, very simple way. Again, this is an example for soccer. You'll have to, the example for your own sport, that will be your challenge to work there. This is an alternative, a reflection tool that can be used after training or after a game. And again, you can have any measures you want. You can track anything: skill, execution, discipline, decision making, whatever you want. My influence on my teammates. Again, we use a 1 to 4 measure. You can use 1 to 10. You can use different things. You could use this after training, after a game. Again, we ask the questions. Question gives the answer. I must start, must stop, I must continue. Notes on performance, what's important now. Once we establish what's important now, or that current state, it goes to desired vision or future state, and what work is to be done. And again, on the work to be done, we may need expertise there. We may need a mental skills coach. We may need a physical conditioning coach. We may need one-to-one time with skills coaches. There's huge scope there and huge areas that we need. But that's a simple rudimental tool that you could practice and use post-training or post-game. And this tool is a tool that I like. It's a very simple My Route to Performance tool. It looks at performance goals, which may be referred to as KPIs, process goals, and then training goals. So I'm going to use my game that I'm involved with, which is hurling, so you may know it or not. So a performance goal in hurling might be as simple as, if I'm playing wing back or centre back, I might like to catch the ball in the air 3 times. So to catch the ball 3 times in the air would be the performance goal in a game, or the KPI. The process, maybe twice, I don't know. The process goal for that would be to attack the ball at its highest point and to clear the air around you. And then the training goal, or how you're going to prepare to do that, would be before and after each training session with 2 of my teammates, I'm going to spend 5 minutes catching contested ball before and after training. So what we're looking at is what we need, what we want to do in the game, what we need to do to make that happen, and how we have to train in order to develop the qualities. So again, you might have 3 or 4 of these performance goals or KPIs, and then develop a clear process around how they're enacted in a game, and then a clear plan on how to train them, to prepare. And that's a very simple tool, and it's one that I like. Now, your training goals might be also aligned into your goal setting and your metric tracking. So if your goal was to catch balls with 2 friends for 5 minutes before and after training. You could track that on your metric tracker, which is also part of this journal. And we also have a video in the resource section on goal setting and metric tracking. So that's a simple one. The next tool is a simple tool that I like. It's a wheel of preparation tool for pre-game. So for argument's sake, about 7 days out, what you could do is you could draw a circle and break it into 6 or 8 categories of things you want to have well prepared by the time the competition arrives, or the game. You might have to have your skill work. You might be well rested, well hydrated. You might have your mental skills, visualization, well practiced. It's up to you. There's various elements you might wish to prepare. So on the 7th day or 7 days before it, you might kind of sit down and reflect, well, where am I on these at the minute? You might colour it in. So if we see here, the self-talk routines and the visualization need a bit of work. Hydration, knowing the game plan, that's not bad. So when you draw the wheel and measure where you are, pick 2 or 3 areas, and then with each area, pick one action. So the action might be with visualization. I'll spend 5 minutes visualizing myself catching the ball or tackling or something, and different elements of the game even. Every morning after I get out of bed, and every night before I go to sleep. Again, this could be a goal to do it, and again the metric tracker could be used. But what we're trying to get on the output of this wheel of preparation is 3 or 4 things you can control in advance of competition, so that it will allow you show up as best prepared as possible. So that's why it's called a wheel of preparation. Again, it gives you clarity on what needs to be done, and then action is required. The final tool are affirmations. And I like to use sporting affirmations with athletes. There's lots of different types of affirmations. You can see here present tense ones, future tense, natural ones, and then scripts for different areas of performance. So an affirmation script, you can write one, you can develop your own, you can Google research, do different things on different affirmation scripts. I'd say, develop your own, maybe get help or whatever. You can read them in the morning, you can read them in the evening. Again, this can be part of your goal setting, it can be part of your metric tracking. And they're a great tool to build confidence and build belief and build conviction in what you're doing. You will see on the PDF of the Journey into Journaling that I have on the resource section of the website. You'll also see a guide there to building sporting affirmations. So that's kind of it. They're your tools. In summary, tools are a powerful means of driving productive, informed, intelligent action. They help us learn, they help us develop. I believe every athlete should be developing their toolkit. Sometimes you might need help. You might be lucky, you might have good coaches, technical coaches, you might have sports science, athletic development coaches, you might have sports psych coaches. They will help you develop your tools. If you don't have access to them, that's a new challenge. So in them challenges, I believe the seeker becomes the finder. Go onto YouTube, find out things, read, Google these things, and develop your own. Again, it will come at a cost, but as with everything, you have to say, what do I want? What is the price, and am I willing to pay it? And if you want to get better at sport, I believe developing your own toolkit is a price you must pay, really. I hope this video is of help. Again, it's just basic generic tools. You might have more advanced ones, but in general, do the basics really well, measure things, set goals, and keep learning, get better at getting better. Thanks for watching, and I hope it's of value to you.